right, and it looks like we might be good to go here. So, with Quest for Glory coming up here with David TKI, let's take it away.
Hi everyone, name's David TKI. I'm going to be doing a triple bingo for Quest for Glory 1 VGA. This was something that the community came up with a few years ago before there was a proper randomizer for Quest for Glory 1 EGA. So yeah, it's just something we're just gonna kind of do. I'll have a bingo board and a list of tasks and stuff, and we usually start time before creating our character because some tasks may be exclusive to different classes, and and there may be some limitations like play as a magic user only or never climb or things like that. So anyways, I'm ready to go. And so ready to go?
Yeah, whenever you're ready. You want me to count you down?
Sure, count me down.
All right, let's do it in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, revealing the board, I'm going to look over at first for different limitations, 24 different items. I don't see anything that looks limiting except play as a magic user only and know all 8 spells. So let's go ahead and pick magic user for now. Uh, and I'm going to basically stick points into lock picking, throwing, and climbing each. And then let's see, do I have anything for Sorty Lordy? No. Stick the rest into. Oh, what's the name of the hero? Did we get any donations for that?
We did at the top. I was mentioning that we did get a $5 anonymous donation. It is ease across the board
E 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
until
6,
you
7,
max
8,
that
9.
sucker out.
Okay. E. All right, let's go for it then. Let me go ahead and just mark. Not that one. That's the wrong one. Play as a magic user only. I'm seeing a lot of Mage's Maze on here. So let me just go ahead, speed up detail down, and I'll start with, let me see. Uh, Luck to 100 is probably going to be something that I go for. I'm just going to start off a little bit by doing a little bit of a money grind. Is there a score at least 200 points on there? Yes, there is. Oh, and I just noticed that middle task, be transformed into 3 different things. That's going to require me to be a fighter, so that's not going to happen. Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like one of the diagonals is not doable. Just one of those things. Uh, there's a well-known bug in this game where you can pick up mushrooms and give them to the healer, and eventually she will start saying, "Oh, I can't buy any more mushrooms from you," but she still takes the gold from them. It's a good little way to get some money to start off with. I'll go ahead and start off by just actually learning most of the spells. So there's a detect magic scroll here. Also, I can get some fur uh, and things like that. What else am I gonna do? Let's go this way. Detect magic is going to be a pretty easy way to. Oh, there was a little pause there. Well, yeah, I'll go ahead and do just a quick little fight here. I'm not going to win this fight. My starting stats are not the best. I see in the raid that Sid is not very popular right now. Thank you, everyone, for the raid. All right. So there's 3 ways up here: detect magic, throwing, or climbing. I haven't trained my throwing or climbing just yet, so I'll just go ahead and use that detect magic spell. Envy the Hermit teaches the trigger spell. One of the things that you're going to need for Mage's Maze later on. My usual MO when I do these bingo boards is to just start going around and doing anything that I can see. Ooh, what I just noticed on the board was obtain the ring in 4 different ways. I think I can do that on this character. So let me go ahead and get some mushrooms to the healer, and I noticed the Get Fred's Beard task on the board, so I'm going to ask her these questions to unlock the ability to get beards from trolls. If I'm going to have to fight Fred, then that means I'm going to have to get my combat skills up pretty high. Thank you, but I have enough mushrooms. You can see that, but she's still giving me gold for them. Holding down the enter key. And you do that to get a lot of starting capital so that you can then go over to here and buy all the spells. So yeah, she's gonna have the fetch spell, the flame dart spell, and the open spell, and I'm getting points for learning all of those. Since I have scored at least 200 points, I'm gonna go ahead and dip into the Adventurers Guild here for just a bit, and just do the various things here that get points. There's a good number of points here, just a few. What else is next? Since I have the climbing skill, I will go ahead and practice climbing by, well, first of all, here. Money for you, points there. Practice climbing by climbing this wall. This is one of the faster places to practice. That seemed pretty quick. So my climbing skill, yeah, it's only 21. Yeah, I'll practice climbing the rest of the way here. And so that nest has a ring in it, and there's, as you can see on the bingo board in row 4, column 4, obtain the ring in 4 different ways. One of those ways is to climb up the tree. I'm going to need enough agility to do this. Uh, One of the nice things about climbing here is that climbing is also raising my strength and agility at the same time. And almost every stat matters in combat. Agility 32 is plenty. So save here, get the ring, and climb back down. That's one way to get the ring. But we're going to do fetch next. Second way to get the ring. Flame dart the nest. Saving and loading is encouraged during most of these runs. And then finally, there's a fourth way to do it, which is, well, I'm going to go ahead and pick up a lot of rocks. So I'd like to turn it over to you for a bit while I pick up all these rocks.
Sure thing. So, just want to remind everybody of our ongoing bid war for our next run, which is for Golden Sun. We have 4 characters that have options for what names we want to set for them. Those are a maximum of 5 characters. So, keep that in mind if we're making any donations towards that incentive. As always, every donation is going towards the National Alliance on Mental Illness. Every dollar matters, folks. So, please get those in no matter how small they may be. They all count towards something. So again, thank you every for donations that we bring in here.
How many rocks have I got right now? I'm looking for a little over like 1100 or so, and I'm picking up 10 at a time. There's more than one reason for this, because I do intend to get my throwing skill up if possible. I'm no longer overloaded. Okay, that's good. Pick up a few extra ones. I do have a throwing task. I I may not go for the throwing task. Uh, we'll have to see about that later. That I usually only go for like 1 or 2 grinding tasks. I'm getting a little ping that not a lot of audio coming in from the game. A lot of these screens are very quiet. So, uh, surely my throwing. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure the throwing requirement for this is 25. We should. There we go. Okay, I'm going to mark that obtain the ring in 4 different ways. And what am I going to do next? We'll talk to the healer and buy some mana potions. Ideally, 2 or so is good for Yeah, let me get the undead unguent just so I don't have to come and get it later. 3 mana potions just to be safe, and then start getting some stamina potions just in case I need those. And then turn in the ring, and that gets me 2 healing potions. Safety save here because I do know that my stamina is at 0 right now. Another save here. There's a little bug in this game where if you go into combat with 0 stamina, you will die instantly of stamina exhaustion. Let's mark that off on the board. And then just go the rest of the way to Erasmus's. And Erasmus is going to move forward a lot of different tasks on the board because there's a task of eat Erasmus's bug in Mage's Maze and also a task of know all 8 spells. Erasmus teaches you the Dazzle spell for winning Mage's Maze, and I also see the Win Mage's Maze task on the board there. So yeah, this is going to move forward like 3 different things. What is your name? What is your quest? I want to be a hero. Who put the R around town? That's Arana. Mage's Maze is a fairly difficult mini game. Aim some of the time. I think it's easier in VGA than it is in EGA, but yeah, it's just one of those things. We actually had the community sometimes does something that we call taskmaster races, where we try to do arbitrary tasks given to us by a GM of some sort. Which way am I going? Eating the other bug is one of the harder tasks in Mage's Maze because my bug is naturally tempted to go the way that I need to go toward the exit. Oof, he took my ladder. I'm going to start that over because there was too much going wrong there. Come on, fetch. Trigger. Yeah, he fetched my ladder while I was on it. Sometimes the bug gets stuck there. Mana potion, trigger. How badly do I need to eat the bug? Um, I don't. I'm not feeling great about the eat the other bug task, so I'm gonna skip that for later. But let's go ahead and mark off Win Mage's Maze. And I don't see a task on here for getting kicked out by knowing Erasmus's jokes. So I'm just gonna go ahead and move along here. There's a couple of things. I do have the lock picking skill, but I didn't actually begin the game with a lock pick. So I'm going to need to pass time until night so that I can get into town and oops, that was a dazzle spell. That's all right. Draining my stamina here on purpose, just for a couple of reasons. Well, the main one is that your hero will rest, but if you've rested recently and your stamina is high, then he's going to be too impatient to rest. But as long as your stamina is below half, your hero can always rest. So get my stamina down. Now nighttime, and thankfully I have climbing, so I can go ahead and get into town here. And the reason I have gone into town is because this alleyway has thieves in it at night. I can make the thief sign to them, learn the password to the Thieves Guild, get a piece of paper. The password is always Schwartfish. Lock picking is a really useful skill to have. Enough so that we actually have a couple different tasks on the board for stuff like never use lock picking because it's powerful. And a lot of the reason for that is that lock picking can get your skills up very quickly. Let's buy a lockpick, a license, and a toolkit. Is there a dagnabbit on the board? No, there isn't. All right, the next thing I'm going to do, since I now have a lockpick, I'm going to use a regular lockpick to. Oh, that was fast. Just start stealing some stuff. And really, the main reason I'm doing this is just to get items in my inventory. But also, I saw on the board a task um, for failing to pick the sheriff's safe 3 times. One. Ah. Uh. Here, I'm gonna go ahead and do one. Oh. I keep getting it. It might be because I have the toolkit in my inventory. This is one of those things that is designed to punish lockpicking because you're more likely to fail this if you have lower lockpicking skill. Now I've done it. Let's go ahead and mark that on the board and then go ahead and restore a safety save. 1, 2. Oh. I'm gonna leave it. I don't want to die there again. And all that's in there is money. Oh, that's 18 items in my inventory. So let's mark that. There's more items over here. 3 silvers, single silver, silver candlesticks. Then I also see 24 different items in inventory. So let's go ahead and start working toward that. Middle of the night. Good. I can go ahead and get the mandrake root that way. I just put. All right, I'll get it a different night. I didn't. I misclicked on the undead unguent, and I didn't use it on myself. Is my lock picking? Yeah, my lock picking's at 49. So let's go ahead and rest some more. One of the tasks I saw on the board was to stay up all night, middle of the night still. I'm just gonna lock pick here a lot. It's gonna get my skill up to 61 pretty quickly, but from 40 onward, yeah, you can start picking your nose, and the difficulty for picking your nose is 40. A little bit about skill gain. You're rolling most of your skill checks against a difficulty of some sort. Picking your nose is difficulty 40. If your skill is 50 away from the target difficulty, then you'll stop getting experience for it. So picking your nose will work up until 90 plus lock picking or so. There are other skills where, yeah, that's it. Where, what is it? Hold on a sec, because I'm going to go ahead and talk to the fairies. Oops. It's okay, my stamina's high. I'm just going to go ahead and get the fairy dust, because that's one more item for my inventory, and I'm going to do the slow dance here. This is an agility 25 check, and well, my agility is way higher than that at the moment. All right, what else do I have to work on? I'm kind of looking at row 1, row 1, column 4, and column 5. But row 4 looks pretty good too. Yeah, I'm not feeling row 3, and I'm not feeling column 2, so I don't need to eat the bug in Mage's Maze, but staying up all night seems like something that I want to do. Yeah, this dance is a lot faster if your agility is below 25. So fairy dust is very magical, and that's going to be an item I get in my inventory. Do I have a task for score at least 100 points? No, I don't. Then let's go ahead and leave here. Now, can I rest for 60 minutes? It's daytime, so let's mark off the task for stay up all night. Right there. Yeah, there's one for at least 200. What am I doing next? I'm gonna go ahead and buy myself more undead unguent. How many items do I have here? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. That's I have 20 items. I can actually get to 24 here pretty quickly. I know what to do. All right, so I will go ahead and buy apples, two, three, four, five, and vegetables. I'm going to. I saw a task for beat the game while cursed by Baba Yaga. If I'm going to go for that, then I'm going to want to have the gem. So, oops, he doesn't want money. He wants apples. How about them apples? I'll go ahead and go back and buy more apples just to fill up that inventory some more.
How about them apples? You mind if I pop in to say, how about them donations?
Sure, go ahead.
So we got a $5 donation from Edward, our previous runner, just saying good luck with the runs. Thank you so much for the donation and the earlier run, Edward. Want to remind people as well of our Golden Sun randomizer incentives here. We do have 4 names. Isaac now has a name. Edward's donation went towards Isaac, and MJ is the leader there. So if you either want to supersede that, or if you want to give names to the other 3 characters before we get that run coming up later on, you can do that as well. We also have now opened up $200 incentives for our time spinner run, which will be later around 4 o'clock Eastern today. One of them will be for the enemy randomizer, which just adds a little more randomness to the randomizer. I know, crazy words. And a level 10 cap as well to, you know, levels are overrated. What could possibly go wrong if we do a cap of 10, right? But get all those donations in.
All right, so let me go ahead and verify a couple of things really quickly. Firstly, I do know all 8 spells now. Come on, that's going to mark off. And secondly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16, 24 different inventory items. So let's go ahead and mark that off. I'm going to head to the cave here in order to do a couple of things. I saw a task for surviving 4 different projectiles on the board, so I kind of want to go that way. There's also defeat 5 different types of monsters. But for the most part, I'm just getting a little combat practice here. It helps a lot that not only is my agility way up since I picked my nose a lot. Yeah, let me go ahead and run away from this and do a safety save, because sometimes the game locks up after defeating the ogre. So I just want to make sure that I don't lose any of my progress. The ogre does have a chest on him. I don't have a task for the chests, so I'm just going to leave that be. What am I doing in here? This is a lot of stuff. I think what I was gonna do in here was wake up the kobold and just let him pelt me with something. Yeah, that gets me. I survived a projectile by the kobold. What else am I doing? Let me take a look at my stats really quickly. That weapon use is not very high, and I think I'm going to need it to be a lot higher before I do some of these other tasks. So I need. Let me think for a bit. I'll go ahead and just do a little bit of combat training here. So can I leave it to you for a bit?
Sure thing. So, as I just mentioned earlier, we are getting a couple of bid wars going on for Golden Sun. We now have $3 coming in. I don't know if it's fully processed yet, but I just caught it here that are going to be going to each of our missing characters. So we now have active names for everybody. So keep an eye out for those. I will get to you those once we get that confirmation on this. Otherwise, as I said earlier, Time Spinner will be coming up not long after Golden Sun. We do have two $100 incentives for an enemy randomizer and a level 10 cap. So additional fun things we can add to that run. And as always, every donation going towards NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, every dollar counts. So whatever you're able to spare, please do so, and we will greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm wanting to get weapon use up to about 50 or so because I think 50 is a reasonable cutoff point for I can hit brigands reasonably. Um, Probably being able to hit Fred reasonably too. I'm looking at two different fights here. Defeat some brigands, defeat Fred the troll, uh, and both of those are very mean. Um, Okay, here's what I'm gonna go ahead and do. I'll go ahead and give Fred a try and see if I'm able to reasonably hit him. Uh, Fred is a troll. He's in this cave right here, and he's one of the toughest. Oh, you know what? If I did a rather quick little strength grind here, um, I would have a lot more accuracy and a lot more damage with my weapon in combat. So I'm still. This rock door has a strength difficulty of 40, but the VGA version is bugged a little bit in that continuing to click on the door while the door is already open is still training my strength. So that gets me up to 63 or so. This is probably worth doing just because that luck to 100 grind in row 3, column 5. This is also adding to that as well. Yeah, go ahead and get those boings out. Boing, 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 boing. Oh, did I forget to mark this? I did forget to mark that. Oh, here's what happened. I double clicked it. That's what happened.
I was gonna wait till the next time I saw the inventory because I could have swore I saw 24, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I marked it, but I accidentally double clicked. So, oops. Yeah, this is probably overdoing it on the strength grind, but it's helping with the luck. So every single skill check is going to roll against luck to see if you get a bonus to the skill check. And you only get like one experience per, but well, that one experience is going to add up. And then every single skill is going to have some sort of skill accumulator. So that experience accumulates. And then once the amount of experience that you've accumulated is equal to your skill or greater, then that experience is consumed and you get a random 1 to 3 level up on the skill. So where are we at now? Strength is 86. Let's go ahead and yeah, get this above 90 because why not? I may be doing that luck to 100 grind anyways.
Is 100 the max?
100 is the max in this game. Yeah. The Quest for Glory is a series-long game, and each subsequent game raised the max for various skills. So the max for everything in Quest for Glory 1 is 100, and Quest for Glory 2 it's 200, and 3 it's 300, and so on and so forth. One really neat thing about some of these grinds is that even if you cap out on the strength grind, like, oh, I'm above 90, so I'm no longer getting any strength experience, I would still get luck experience, which is a really useful thing to have. But, whoa, that luck is getting higher. Okay, just a little bit more, then I should be done with the strength grind. One of the reasons the strength grind is useful is because combat accuracy is a uh, is a combination of your strength, intelligence, agility, luck, weapon use. So even though my weapon use is relatively low, this should be helping with the combat accuracy quite a bit. Plus, some of the experience that you get per skill is increased if the related skills are higher. So, for example, weapon use is tied to both strength and agility. The amount of weapon use experience you get each time you do it is increased if your strength and agility are higher. So this will get weapon use up even more. I'll go ahead. Oh, let's mark that on the board.
Ding ding.
And then I'll go ahead and do a vigor potion so that I'm at full for this fight. There is a password here that can get Fred out of the way. But you don't want it because we want to actually fight Fred. And it looks like my weapon use is more than high enough to be able to hit him. But you'll notice that he's not hitting me very much. Because way earlier I picked up a whole bunch of rocks. Come on, Fred. Give it to me. Not like that. Alright, Fred is dead. I picked up a whole bunch of rocks. What that has done is caused my inventory weight to be minus 474. And when your inventory weight is lower, then your defense in combat is higher, but it's not capped anywhere. So by overflowing my inventory weight, I actually have the maximum defense in combat. All right, there was a specific task for give Fred's beard to the healer. That's right here. And now that I'm looking at the board again, I'm thinking that row 1, and column 5 all look very reasonable. Let's see, 4 different projectiles. I did survive the kobold. So, what else can I do? I'll go ahead and pass some time until night. No, that's not what I'm going to do. Not yet. Let's go this way.
In the meantime, do you mind if I confirm that last donation we had coming in?
Sure.
So that was $3 from RN Lore. So that gives us names for everybody in Golden Sun now. So currently, unless y'all want to get some donations in to change these names, we have Garrett is going to be Bob. Isaac will currently still be MJ from Edward's donation. Ivan will be Ruby with an I. And Mia will be Cute. So if any of you out there want to change those names and get your own memes in there, put some money up. Let's get some donations in there for Nami. Let's get this push forward.
All right, so I just survived an arrow from all of those archers, so that's going to be a second different projectile that I've survived. And I've just defeated the brigands at the front gate. Toro's here and kind of in the way. I'm going to... Oh, I woke him up. All right, well, we'll go ahead and just take out Toro for now. That way he won't be in the way any longer. Oh, it's nighttime. Okay, good. That actually means I am just in time for one of the other projectiles that I wanted to. Oh, invalid palette. Yeah, you might notice that the game on my screen is starting to glitch out with the colors. There's kind of a memory leak in the game, and after playing it for long enough, you eventually, eventually the game starts to starts to glitch out with the colors. And if you play the game for long enough, then you will um, eventually the game will crash. Now, I think I'm very close to finishing this. So, aha, okay. I wanted my uh I wanted to no longer be at the minimum. Uh-oh. Yeah, I got a note from ouch. Okay, I just survived a projectile from a mantray, and we are very, very close to finishing. This looks like it has been one of the faster seeds. The drink soothes as it goes down. So I have survived a mantray's tail, the kobold's blast, and an arrow. And now I have survived my own flame dart. Ow! Let's mark off survived getting hit by 4 different projectiles. And then I'm going to finish off columns 1 and 5 by just beating the game. Well, but first I'm going to get cursed by Baba Yaga. Wow, invalid palette. I guess the palette's pretty. Uh-oh. That was wrong. I didn't get the password. Okay, here's what I'm going to do about that then. Bruno's got the password, so I will go sleep until morning. Yeah, oops. I made a little mistake there. So the thing about winning the game is that it's pretty quick. Our any percent PB is somewhere around 4 minutes. It's something that I could do rather easily, except that I just kind of accidentally lengthened it by forgetting to ask Bonehead about the rhyme to the hut before going in. So we'll go ahead and pass just a bit of time here. I think Bruno appears outside of the front gates at midday, but it could be mid morning. Um, one really quick thing: the day is divided into 8 different stages, and each one is 3 hours long. So if you rest for like 3 hours, then you'll advance a stage. The day starts with day is dawning, then mid morning, then midday. Working at the stables here is going to pass 3 hours, so it passes a stage. But also it doesn't count toward resting limits. So that's 5 hours that I've just passed. So we should be in the latter portion of mid morning. So next is Bruno outside the gate. That depends. Does he show up in mid morning? He does. Okay. 2 gold. Yaga's hut. Now I know how to get into Baba Yaga's hut. Yeah, I just made a little goof there because the skull can tell you the password too, but only if you do it before you give him the gem. And I unfortunately gave him the gem. Just a little bit of a whoops thing. All right, so let's go ahead and go in here. In the EGA version, if you have the mirror, then Baba Yaga always goes straight to her final confrontation. But in this version, she's going to do the initial encounter first, always, which is going to be you go in here, and the game assumes you don't have the means, and so she will threaten to eat you. But you're going to have to do a task for her, which is that she's going to tell you she wants the mandrake root, and she's going to place a curse on you that if you don't do this before dawn of the next day, then you are going to die. But one of our tasks on the board there is beat the game while cursed. So that means we'll be able to finish off column 1 and column 5 by just going ahead and beating the game while we have the curse on us. If you know this game, then you know that that was weird. Then you'll know that I'm supposed to have a dispel potion before I go in here, but there's a bug that is going to allow us to move through the room before I forgot to look at the rope. When's the last time I saved? Right here. Okay, good. Alright, I forgot to look at the rope. That's fine, that's fine. Good thing for safety saves, right? There's a bug that's going to allow us to move in that final room without the dispel potion, allow us to leave and effectively beat the game. So we just kind of allow that. In this room, we've got different things we're going to do. You have to wait for the brigands to turn away before you move this chair. You have to wait for these guys to be halfway down before you knock down the candle, and all the way back before you get on the table. You have to wait for the chandelier to fall before you can open this door. And then we've got a little maze here where the solution's pretty much going to be the same every time. I'll go ahead and safety save since it's possible to soft lock on the door here. Pull the chain, go through here. Ah, boot to the head. No, don't you dare. Okay. Move the door. Time is going to be coming up pretty soon here because this is going to be the final room. The brigand leader is going to hop over the desk, and we're supposed to use the dispel potion before we can move, but go to the character spreadsheet, go through the door, and let's call time. That's triple bingo.
I'm almost disappointed we could have done all 3 lines in one go if we had just waited for one more projectile, because I think that boot would have counted, wouldn't it?
Maybe. I had considered it, and I was wondering if I should count it or not. I ultimately decided that that was probably being a little pushing it. I also could have thrown a rock at myself and a dagger at myself. Those would have probably counted also.
How do you not count a flying boot? I mean, honestly, who throws a shoe?
I don't want nothing.
Well, GG's, that was a fun run. A random question, because we've obviously had you run this, you guys run this before. Is the speed normally when you run like that, is that like the normal part of the game, or is this like a sort of turbo mode sort of deal with it? Because I always noticed that it felt like the running was like really, really fast.
The Sierra's VGA games had a lot of computer timing issues and stuff. So, like, for some reason, in a lot of their games, you could turn the speed slider up, and that would make your hero move faster, but it wouldn't make anything else move faster. I'm not sure why exactly that is, because their earlier games, the speed would affect everything. And this game did have some fan patches given to it to make certain timings faster, or certain timings not tied to the processor, because the door that opens in the maze is tied to the processor, and I have a vague memory of I pull the chain, the door opens, and then it closes again before it finishes opening. There's a lot of bugs.
I mean, in a game that old, come on, no, they were all perfect back then.
But yeah, that's triple bingo for Quest for Glory 1 VGA. We also have a randomizer for Quest for Glory 1 EGA. That is a lot of fun.
Awesome. Glad to have you guys running here. Is there anybody you want to shout out? I know you had folks in the chat there, you know, shouting out during the course of the run. Any shout outs you want to give there?
I'll go ahead and give shout outs to Mr. PR Miller and Crow, because they're the ones that I have run the most bingos with, especially Crow, because Crow is the one who created our bingo generator. And Crow was also the one who vetted this board for me. So thank you, Crow, and thank you, Mr. Miller. And so yeah, that'll be about it for me.
Well, again, thank you so much for running Quest for Glory for us this year. Always nice having you, and we hope to see you guys somewhere down the road as well. It's always a pleasure. Thank you so much for the run.
All right, see y'all.
And with that being said, we will be taking a short break to get it set up for our next run, which is Golden Sun. Keep in mind, we still have a little bit of time for any donations towards the names of the 4 characters we currently have. As I go back to the list here, bear with me. We have for Garrett, it is currently set as Bob. For Isaac, it is MJ. For Ivan, it is Ruby. And for Mia, it is Cute. So you have a few minutes if you want to change any of those names and snipe those off. Get those donations in. All donations going towards National Alliance of Mental Illness. Every dollar counts. Every dollar is appreciated. And obviously, hey, who doesn't want to snipe a name up before a run starts? Come on now, let's get going. But yeah, we're going to take a quick break so we can get our next run set up, and we'll be right back with you all.